So, what's up guys? Get Arat here. I want you to do something for me. Close your eyes for a second. Okay, maybe don't close them, you're watching a video. But picture this. It's the year 2035. You've just graduated or you're looking to make a career switch and you step out into the job market, but it looks nothing like you expected. The classic 9-to-5 jobs, the ones our parents told us were safe bets, a lot of them are just gone, replaced, automated, or completely redesigned. It's a world where the pace of change we see today with our smartphones and AI assistants has accelerated beyond what most of us can even imagine. This isn't some far-off sci-fi movie plot. This is the trajectory we're on right now. Technology, especially artificial intelligence, isn't just a tool anymore. It's fundamentally rewriting the rules of how companies operate, what they value, and who they hire. The way we work, communicate, and even think about our careers is being completely overhauled. The landscape has shifted so dramatically that the skills that guaranteed a job a decade ago might not even get you an interview in the next. It's a bit intimidating, I get it, but it's also an incredible opportunity if you're prepared. So that brings us to the big question, the one we're going to spend this video unpacking. In this rapidly evolving, tech-driven future, what skills will actually matter? What are the abilities that will not only help you survive, but truly thrive and build a successful career? It's not just about coding or being a tech genius anymore. It's a whole new playbook. In this video, we're going to break down the essential skills that will future-proof your career and open doors for you in 2035 and beyond. Let's get into it. All right, so first things first, let's talk about the engine driving all this change, the technological revolution. This isn't just a small update or a new gadget release. We're talking about a fundamental shift, a digital tsunami that's reshaping every single industry you can think of. From farming to finance, from healthcare to entertainment, AI and digital transformation are no longer buzzwords that you hear in tech keynotes. They are the new operational standard. Companies that don't adapt, that don't integrate these technologies into their core, are quickly becoming relics. It's evolution on a massive scale, and it means that adapting is no longer optional. It's a basic requirement for survival. Think about it. AI can now diagnose diseases with incredible accuracy, write complex code, create stunning artwork, and manage logistical supply chains with an efficiency that's impossible for humans to match. This isn't about technology just making things faster, it's about it doing things that were previously considered exclusively human tasks. This creates a massive ripple effect. Job roles are being redefined. A marketer now needs to understand AI-driven analytics. A doctor might use AI for diagnostics, and a factory worker might be supervising a team of robots. The lines are blurring, and the expectation is that you can work alongside these advanced systems seamlessly. So, the baseline for any career in 2035 is a certain level of tech literacy. You don't have to be the person building the AI, but you absolutely have to be the person who understands how to use it, how to leverage its power, and how to adapt when the next big technological leap happens. Resisting this change is like trying to hold back the tide. The smart move isn't to fight it, but to learn how to surf the wave. Understanding this impact is the first step in building a career that's not just relevant today, but resilient for tomorrow. So, if technology is the new landscape, what are the tools you need to navigate it? This brings us to essential digital skills. And I want to be super clear here, this isn't just for software engineers or IT specialists anymore, this is for everyone. In the past, you could get by in many professions without being particularly tech-savvy. You could be a great salesperson, a creative artist, or a manager, and your computer skills could be limited to email and a word processor. Those days are over. In 2035, a baseline understanding of digital tools, data, and AI principles will be as fundamental as reading and writing are today. This doesn't mean you need to become a master coder, although that's a great skill to have. It's more about digital fluency. Can you collaborate with a team using cloud-based project management software? Can you look at a dashboard of analytics and understand the story the data is telling you? Do you know the basic principles of how an AI model learns, so you can use AI-powered tools more effectively and responsibly? These are the kinds of practical digital skills that will be expected across the board. It's about being a confident and competent user of the technology that powers the modern workplace. Think of it like learning to drive a car. Most of us don't need to be mechanics who can strip down an engine and rebuild it, but we do need to know how to operate the vehicle safely, read the dashboard, understand the rules of the road, and know when it needs maintenance. The same principle applies to technology in the workplace of the future. Being able to confidently use digital tools, interpret data, and work alongside AI will be the new driver's license for your career. Without it, you'll find it very difficult to get anywhere. Let's drill down into one of those digital skills because it's so important it deserves its own chapter: data analysis. You've probably heard the phrase data is the new oil, but I think it's more than that. It's the new gold. It's the most valuable resource for any modern business. And the ability to mine it, refine it, and turn it into something valuable is a critical skill. In the past, big decisions were often made based on experience, intuition, or what the highest paid person in the room thought. In 2035, that's not going to fly. Every decision, from marketing campaigns to product development to internal strategy, will be backed by data. So what does being skilled in data analysis actually mean? It's not just about being a math whiz who can create complex statistical models, though that's a specialized field in itself. For most professionals, it's about data literacy. It's the ability to look at a set of data, whether it's sales figures, customer feedback, website traffic, or production metrics, and understand what it's telling you. It's about identifying trends, spotting anomalies, and asking the right questions. It's about being able to separate the signal from the noise and use those insights to make smarter, more informed decisions. This skill is becoming universal. A marketing manager needs to analyze campaign performance data to optimize their ad spend. A product manager needs to sift through user behavior data to decide which features to build next. Even an HR professional needs to analyze employee performance and satisfaction data to improve the workplace culture. The tools to collect data are everywhere. They're cheaper and more powerful than ever. But the data itself is useless without people who can interpret it and translate it into actionable strategy. Being that person, the one who can connect the dots and tell the story hidden in the numbers, makes you incredibly valuable in any role. As our world becomes more connected and data-driven, there's a huge, unavoidable consequence. Everything becomes a target. Every new device connected to the internet, every piece of data stored in the cloud, is a potential vulnerability. This is where our next critical skill comes in: cybersecurity. This field is exploding and its importance is only going to grow exponentially. It's not a niche IT problem anymore. It's a fundamental business risk that affects everyone from the CEO down to the summer intern. A single breach can cripple a company, destroy its reputation, and cost millions or even billions of dollars. The need for cybersecurity experts is, frankly, insatiable. We need people who can build secure systems, who can hunt for threats, who can respond to incidents, and who can think like a hacker to find vulnerabilities before the bad guys do. This goes way beyond just installing antivirus software. It involves network security, cloud security, ethical hacking, cryptography, and developing security policies that protect an organization's most valuable assets. The demand for these specialized roles is already far outpacing the supply of qualified people, and that gap is only going to widen as we move towards 2035. But even if you're not planning to become a full-time cybersecurity analyst, a baseline understanding of security principles is becoming a non-negotiable skill for every employee. You need to understand the importance of strong passwords, how to spot a phishing email, and the risks of using unsecured public Wi-Fi. In the future, companies will need a security-first culture, where every single person is part of the human firewall. Being the employee who understands and champions these practices makes you a huge asset. In a world where digital threats are constant, being part of the solution is a powerful way to future-proof your value. Okay, let's talk about the big one, the one that's on everyone's mind: artificial intelligence and machine learning. For a lot of people, AI is still this intimidating black box concept. But by 2035, working with and even helping to improve AI and ML tools will be a standard part of many jobs. The conversation is shifting from "will AI take my job?" to "how can I use AI to do my job better?" The real value will come from human-AI collaboration. The professionals who thrive will be the ones who can leverage AI as a powerful partner. This skill has a few different layers. On one level, you have the specialists, the machine learning engineers, the AI researchers, the data scientists who are actually designing, building, and training these complex models. These roles are, and will continue to be, some of the most in-demand and highest-paid jobs on the market. If you have the aptitude for math, statistics, and programming, this is an incredible field to get into. The people creating the next generation of AI will literally be building the future, but for the rest of us, the skill is about becoming an expert user and a valuable collaborator with AI. This means understanding an AI tool's strengths and weaknesses. It means knowing how to give it the right prompts to get the best results, a skill now being called prompt engineering. It means being able to look at an AI's output, critically evaluate it, and refine it with human insight. For example, an AI might generate a marketing slogan, but a human marketer will know if it aligns with the brand's voice and emotional connection. The future isn't about AI replacing humans, it's about AI augmenting them. Mastering that partnership is the key. With all this talk about AI, automation and data, it might sound like the future is all about the machines, but that brings us to what might be the most important skill of all. And it's one that is uniquely human: critical thinking and problem solving. As routine, repetitive and predictable tasks get automated, the value of human workers will shift to the things that AI and computers struggle with. They can process data at lightning speed, but they can't truly understand context, ask why, or solve novel, complex problems that don't have a pre-existing dataset. Critical thinking is the ability to analyze information objectively from multiple perspectives and make a reasoned judgment. It's about not just accepting information at face value, but questioning it, evaluating the evidence, and identifying potential biases or flaws in logic. In a world flooded with AI-generated content and misinformation, this skill becomes a superpower. It's the filter that allows you to separate credible information from noise and make sound decisions. Companies in 2035 won't just need people who can follow instructions, they'll need people who can think for themselves. And this goes hand in hand with problem solving. I'm not talking about solving a math equation, I'm talking about facing a completely new challenge. A supply chain disruption, a sudden shift in consumer behavior, a conflict within a team, and being able to break it down, ideate creative solutions, and navigate ambiguity. AI can optimize a known system, but it can't invent a new one from scratch when the old one breaks. That's where human ingenuity comes in. The ability to think critically and solve complex, unstructured problems is the ultimate human advantage, and it will only become more valuable as machines handle the rest. Technology can create efficiency, but it can't create empathy. A computer can analyze performance metrics, but it can't inspire a team or resolve a delicate interpersonal conflict. This is why emotional intelligence, or EQ, is rocketing up the list of essential future skills. As the workplace becomes more automated and in some ways more impersonal with remote work and digital communication, the ability to understand and manage human emotions, both your own and others, becomes a critical differentiator. It's the glue that holds teams and organizations together. Emotional intelligence is a broad skill, but it boils down to a few key components. There's self-awareness, understanding your own emotions and how they affect your thoughts and behavior. There's self-regulation, the ability to control impulsive feelings and behaviors and adapt to changing circumstances. Then there's social awareness, or empathy, the ability to understand the emotions, needs and concerns of other people. And finally, there's relationship management, knowing how to develop and maintain good relationships, communicate clearly, inspire and influence others, and work well in a team. Think about the roles that will be hardest to automate: leaders, managers, negotiators, counselors, and anyone in a client-facing role. What do they all have in common? They rely heavily on emotional intelligence. An AI can't give a team member a pep talk after a tough quarter. It can't mediate a disagreement between two talented but clashing colleagues. It can't build the kind of trust with a client that leads to a long-term partnership. In a future where technical skills can be augmented by AI, your ability to connect with, motivate, and lead other humans will be your greatest and most irreplaceable asset. AI can write an email, it can generate a report, it can even draft a presentation. But can it truly communicate? Can it persuade, inspire, and connect with an audience on a human level? Not really. And that's why strong communication skills remain a timeless, essential skill for the future. The ability to articulate your ideas clearly, concisely, and persuasively, whether in writing, in person, or on a video call, is a skill that technology can assist, but never fully replace. In a world of information overload, clarity is king. This isn't just about having a good vocabulary or being able to speak without saying, It's about strategic communication. It's about knowing your audience and tailoring your message to them. It's about being able to take a complex idea and explain it in simple, understandable terms. It's about being a great listener, so you can truly understand what the other person is saying before you respond. It's about being able to tell a compelling story that makes people care about your data, your product, or your vision. Think about the most successful leaders, entrepreneurs, and innovators. They are almost always fantastic communicators. They can rally a team around a shared goal, convince investors to back their vision, and explain the value of their product to customers. As teams become more global and remote, the ability to communicate effectively across different cultures and time zones using a variety of digital tools becomes even more critical. An AI might be able to generate the words, but the strategy, the empathy, and the persuasive power behind those words will have to come from you. Well, what happens when all the routine, predictable by-the-book jobs are handled by algorithms? What's left for us? The answer is simple. The non-routine, the unpredictable, the things that have never been done before. This is the domain of creativity and innovation. As automation takes over the mundane, the most valuable human contributions will be our ability to imagine new possibilities, invent novel solutions, and create original work. Creativity isn't just for artists and designers anymore. It's a crucial survival skill for everyone. Innovation is the lifeblood of any company that wants to stay relevant. It's about constantly looking for better ways to do things, challenging the status quo, and not being afraid to experiment and fail. In 2035, companies won't be looking for employees who can just follow a manual. They'll be desperate for people who can help them write the next one. People who can see a process and ask, what if we did this completely differently? People who can connect seemingly unrelated ideas to create something brand new. This kind of creative thinking is incredibly difficult for AI to replicate because it's not based on existing data. It's about making intuitive leaps and imagining what could be, rather than just analyzing what is. Whether you're a software developer thinking of a new app feature, a marketing manager designing a groundbreaking campaign, or a strategist envisioning a new business model, your ability to generate fresh, original ideas will be your competitive edge. The future belongs to the creators, the inventors, and the innovators who can see a blank canvas and paint a masterpiece. In a rapidly changing world, you can't always wait for someone to hand you a well-defined job with a clear career ladder. Sometimes you have to create your own opportunities. This is where an entrepreneurial mindset comes in, and it's a skill that's just as valuable inside a massive corporation as it is for someone launching their own startup. It's a way of thinking that embraces initiative, resourcefulness, and a focus on creating value. It's about seeing problems not as obstacles, but as opportunities waiting for a solution. For those who do want to build their own business, the barriers to entry are lower than ever before. With digital platforms, you can reach a global audience, and with cloud computing, you can access immense processing power for a fraction of the historical cost. But it takes more than just a good idea. It requires skills in product development, marketing, sales, finance, and leadership. The entrepreneur of 2035 needs to be a versatile, adaptable leader who can wear many hats and navigate the uncertainty of building something from the ground up. But even if you never start your own company, thinking like an entrepreneur, what some call intrapreneurship, is incredibly valuable. It means taking ownership of your projects, proactively seeking out new challenges, and constantly looking for ways to add value to your team and your company. It's about being resilient in the face of setbacks and having the drive to push an idea forward, even when it's difficult. Companies in the future will want to hire people who don't just fill a role, but who act like owners of their work. This mindset is a powerful engine for career growth in any environment. Ideas are great. Technology is powerful. But without a plan and someone to guide the process, even the best ideas and the most advanced tech can result in chaos. This is where project management comes in. As projects become more complex, involving cross-functional teams, remote workers, and tight deadlines, the demand for skilled professionals who can orchestrate all the moving parts is higher than ever. Project managers are the conductors of the business orchestra, ensuring that everyone is playing in harmony and the final piece is delivered on time and on budget. This isn't just about creating a timeline in a piece of software. Modern project management is a sophisticated blend of art and science. It requires strong organizational skills to plan out every task, allocate resources, and manage budgets. It requires excellent communication skills to keep every stakeholder, from the engineering team to the C-suite, informed and aligned. And it requires leadership skills to motivate the team, remove roadblocks, and navigate the inevitable challenges and changes that pop up along the way. In the future, with the rise of agile and other flexible methodologies, project managers will need to be even more adaptable. They'll need to be comfortable with iteration, quick pivots, and managing projects where the final outcome isn't perfectly defined at the start. They'll also need to be adept at using a suite of digital collaboration and project management tools to keep distributed teams in sync. Whether your official title is project manager or not, the ability to effectively manage projects from conception to completion is a skill that demonstrates leadership, reliability, and immense value to any organization. If there's one single guarantee about the future, it's that it will be unpredictable. The technology, the jobs, and the skills we've talked about today might be completely different in another 10 years. That's why one of the most crucial meta skills for long-term career survival is adaptability and flexibility. The old model of learning a trade and doing it for 40 years is dead. The new model is one of continuous learning, unlearning, and relearning. Your ability to embrace change rather than resist it will define your success. Adaptability is about your mindset. It's about seeing a new technology not as a threat but as a tool to learn. It's about viewing a restructuring at your company not as a crisis but as an opportunity to take on new responsibilities. It's about being comfortable with being a beginner again, over and over. People who are mentally flexible and open to new experiences will be able to pivot their careers as industries evolve, while those who are rigid and stuck in their ways will find themselves left behind. This goes hand in hand with a commitment to lifelong learning. Your formal education is just the starting point. The real work begins after you graduate. You need to be proactive about keeping your skills sharp and acquiring new ones. This could mean taking online courses, attending workshops, reading books, listening to podcasts, or seeking out projects at work that push you out of your comfort zone. The most successful professionals of 2035 won't be the ones who know the most on day one. They'll be the ones who are the best at learning. They are perpetual students of their craft and of the world around them. For a long time, business success was measured almost exclusively by one thing: profit. But that's changing, and it's changing fast. Consumers, investors, and employees are increasingly demanding that companies operate in a way that is not just profitable, but also sustainable and socially responsible. This has given rise to a whole new category of skills: sustainability and green skills. By 2035, integrating sustainability into business operations won't be a niche feel-good initiative. It will be a core part of business strategy and a major driver of innovation. This trend is creating a huge demand for professionals who understand the intersection of business and the environment. We need renewable energy engineers, sustainable supply chain managers, corporate sustainability officers, and green building architects. These are the people who can help companies reduce their carbon footprint, minimize waste, manage resources more efficiently, and comply with increasingly strict environmental regulations. This isn't just about being good for the planet, it's good for the bottom line, as it often leads to greater efficiency and a stronger brand reputation. But just like cybersecurity, this isn't only for specialists. A basic understanding of sustainability principles will become important for everyone. A product designer will need to think about the entire life cycle of a product, from the materials used to how it will be disposed of. A marketing professional will need to know how to communicate a company's green credentials authentically without greenwashing. An operations manager will need to look for ways to reduce energy consumption in their facilities. Having this green-tinted lens, this ability to think about the long-term environmental and social impact of your work, will be a significant advantage in the job market of the future. For the past couple of decades, our primary way of interacting with the digital world has been through flat screens, our phones, our laptops, our TVs, but that's starting to change. The next major platform shift is likely to be towards more immersive spatial computing driven by virtual and augmented reality. VR and AR are moving beyond just gaming and entertainment and are starting to create powerful new opportunities in fields like education, healthcare, manufacturing, and remote collaboration. The skill to design, build, and manage these new digital experiences is a frontier skill with massive potential. Augmented reality, which overlays digital information onto the real world, has incredible practical applications. Imagine a surgeon seeing a patient's vital signs projected directly onto their field of view during an operation, or a technician seeing repair instructions overlaid on a complex piece of machinery. Virtual reality, which creates fully immersive digital environments, could revolutionize training and education. You could learn to fly a plane, practice a public speech, or explore ancient Rome, all from the safety and convenience of a classroom. As these technologies mature and the hardware becomes more accessible and comfortable, there will be a huge need for a new generation of creators and developers. We'll need three-dimensional artists to build these virtual worlds, UX designers to figure out how we can interact with them intuitively, and software engineers to write the code that brings them to life. But we'll also need project managers, marketers, and strategists who understand the unique potential of these platforms. Getting in on the ground floor of this spatial computing revolution could be like learning to build websites in the late 1990s, a chance to shape the future of how we interact with technology. The healthcare industry has traditionally been one of the slower sectors to adopt new technology, but that is changing at an incredible pace. The fusion of technology and medicine is creating a new field, digital health. This is a massive area that includes everything from wearable devices that track our fitness and vital signs to telehealth platforms that let us see a doctor from our living room to AI algorithms that help diagnose diseases earlier and more accurately. The rise of digital health is creating a huge need for a new type of medical professional, one who is as comfortable with technology as they are with biology. Think about the sheer amount of health data being generated every day from smartwatches, fitness trackers, and other sensors. We need data scientists who can analyze this population-level data to identify public health trends and risk factors. We need software developers to build secure and user-friendly apps that help people manage chronic conditions like diabetes or high blood pressure. We need UX designers to create telehealth platforms that are accessible and easy for everyone, including the elderly, to use. And it's not just tech roles. Doctors, nurses, and therapists of the future will need to be tech-savvy. They'll need to be comfortable interpreting data from wearable devices, conducting virtual consultations, and using AI-powered diagnostic tools as part of their daily workflow. The patient of 2035 will be more informed and more engaged in their own health, armed with data from their own devices. Medical professionals who can embrace this technology and use it to provide more personalized, proactive, and efficient care will be at the forefront of a healthcare revolution. We've covered a lot of specific skills, from artificial intelligence to cybersecurity to communication, but there's an overarching theme, a foundational principle that ties them all together: continuing education. The idea that your learning journey ends when you get a diploma is honestly a relic of a bygone era. In the fast-paced world of 2035, the single most important habit you can cultivate is that of a lifelong learner. Your ability to continuously update your knowledge and skills is really the ultimate form of future-proofing. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean going back to a university for another 4-year degree, although that might be the right path for some folks. Continuing education in the modern age is flexible, accessible, and multifaceted. It's about taking targeted online courses on platforms like Coursera, edX, or Skillshare to pick up a specific new skill like data visualization or prompt engineering. It's about earning professional certifications to validate your expertise in a growing field like cloud computing or project management. It's about staying current by reading industry publications, listening to expert podcasts, and attending webinars. But perhaps the most powerful form of continuing education is practical, hands-on experience. It's about proactively seeking out projects at work that force you to learn something new. It's about building things on the side, whether it's a personal website, a small mobile app, or a data analysis project. This is where the theoretical knowledge from courses turns into real, tangible skill. In the future, your resume might look less like a list of past jobs and more like a portfolio of projects and a catalogue of skills you've acquired along the way. Your commitment to growth is your most valuable career asset. In the past, career advice was often about specialization, become the best in the world at one thing, and while deep expertise is still incredibly valuable, the future will also belong to the generalists, the connectors, the people with interdisciplinary skills. These are the individuals who can combine expertise from multiple, seemingly unrelated fields to create a unique and powerful value proposition. In a world where problems are increasingly complex and interconnected, the ability to think across disciplines is a major advantage. Think about it. A biologist who also knows how to code can create powerful new bioinformatics tools. A graphic designer who understands psychology can create user interfaces that are not just beautiful but also intuitive and persuasive. A financial analyst who has a deep understanding of climate science can become a leading expert in sustainable investing. These combinations create a skill set that is rare, difficult to replicate, and highly sought after. You're no longer just a coder or a marketer, you're a hybrid professional who can bridge the gap between different departments and different ways of thinking. This is where your unique passions and interests can become a huge career asset. Maybe you love history and also work in tech. You could be perfectly positioned to work on digital museum experiences or educational virtual reality content. Maybe you're an accountant with a passion for storytelling. You could excel at making complex financial data understandable and engaging for investors and stakeholders. Don't be afraid to cultivate your interests outside of your primary career path. In the future, the ability to connect the dots between different fields of knowledge will be a form of innovation in itself, opening up job opportunities that you might never have imagined. The internet and digital communication tools have effectively erased geographical boundaries in the workplace. It's now possible to assemble a team with the best talent from around the world, with members in New York, Nairobi, and New Delhi all collaborating on the same project in real time. This globalization of work is a huge opportunity, but it also requires a specific and crucial soft skill cultural intelligence and an appreciation for diversity. Being able to work effectively with people from different backgrounds, cultures, and perspectives is no longer a nice to have. It's a business imperative. Cultural intelligence, or CQ, is the ability to relate and work effectively across cultures. It's about more than just knowing a few facts about another country. It's about being aware of your own cultural biases, being curious and respectful of others' perspectives, and being able to adapt your communication and behavior to be effective in different cultural contexts. This could be as simple as understanding different approaches to deadlines, feedback, or decision-making in a hierarchical versus a flat organizational culture. Moreover, a diverse team is a stronger team. Study after study has shown that teams with a variety of backgrounds, experiences, and viewpoints are more innovative, better at problem solving, and make better decisions. They are less prone to groupthink and more likely to see a challenge from multiple angles. In the workplace of 2035, being able to contribute to and foster an inclusive environment where everyone feels respected and valued is a key leadership skill. It's what allows a global team to unlock its full potential and achieve more than a homogeneous team ever could. The traditional model of a linear career path within a single company is becoming less and less common. The rise of the gig economy, remote work, and project-based employment means that more and more professionals are becoming freelancers, consultants, or independent contractors. This shift requires a whole new set of skills centered around building and managing your own career as if it were a business. In this world, you are the CEO of You Inc., and you're responsible for your own marketing, sales, and product development. To thrive as a freelancer, you need to be more than just an expert in your craft. You need to be a savvy business person. This means developing a strong personal brand that clearly communicates your value and what makes you unique. You need marketing skills to find clients, sales skills to write compelling proposals and negotiate contracts, and financial literacy to manage your income, expenses, and taxes. You also need excellent time management and self-discipline, because there's no boss looking over your shoulder to make sure you're on track. Even if you choose to remain a full-time employee, the principles of the gig economy are still relevant. Building a professional network and a personal brand through platforms like LinkedIn, a personal website, or by contributing to your industry's community can open up incredible opportunities. It makes you more visible, establishes your credibility, and gives you more leverage in your career. Whether you're working for yourself or for someone else, thinking like a freelancer, always building your skills, network, and reputation is a powerful strategy for maintaining career security and independence in an uncertain world. So, we've gone through a lot, 19 different skills and mindsets, from the highly technical to the deeply human. It might seem like a lot to master, and honestly, it is. But the key takeaway isn't that you need to be a world-class expert in all 20 of these areas. The goal is to build your own unique, future-proof skill set, a personalized toolkit that prepares you for the challenges and opportunities of 2035. The real power lies in the combination. The winning formula for the future is a blend. It's a T-shaped profile of deep expertise in one or two core areas, your specialization, combined with a broad understanding across many others. It's about pairing your hard technical skills with soft human skills. You can be the best coder in the world, but if you can't communicate with your team or think critically about the problem you're solving, your value is limited. Conversely, you can be the most empathetic leader, but if you don't understand the technology that's driving your business, you'll struggle to make informed, strategic decisions. Ultimately, the most essential trait is a proactive and curious mindset. It's about recognizing that the world is changing and choosing to be an active participant in that change. It's about cultivating creativity to imagine what's next, emotional intelligence to lead others through uncertainty, adaptability to pivot when needed, and a commitment to continuous learning to stay relevant. The future isn't something that just happens to us. It's something we build. By consciously developing this mix of skills, you're not just preparing for the future, you're getting ready to create it. So, there you have it, a roadmap of the skills that will define the next decade of work. From digital fluency and data analysis to creativity and emotional intelligence, the landscape is clear. The future will reward those who are adaptable, curious, and human-centric in a world of increasing automation. It's a future that demands a blend of technical competence and the timeless skills that make us uniquely human. It's not about choosing one over the other, it's about integrating them into a powerful personal toolkit that sets you apart and prepares you for whatever comes next. The crucial thing to understand is that this isn't a conversation about some distant, hypothetical future. The shift is already happening, and the pace is only accelerating. The people who will lead the companies of 2035, who will create the groundbreaking products, and who will solve the world's most complex problems are the ones who are starting to build these skills right now. They are taking the online courses, seeking out the challenging projects, and cultivating the mindsets we've talked about today. The race to become future-proof has already begun, and every day counts. Those who start developing these skills now, who embrace lifelong learning and adaptability, will find themselves prepared for a world that is brimming with incredible opportunities. They will be the architects, the leaders, and the innovators of the next era. On the other hand, those who hesitate, who wait for the world to settle down, or who cling to the old ways of working, may find themselves on the outside, looking in, struggling to find their place in a market that has moved on without them. The choice is yours, and the time to start is now. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next one.